Hello, everybody. So, this is going to be my sort of career life advice, how to speak up when you're slammed without looking like you can't handle it, because I just went through this. So, in my role, there's some weeks, there's some months where I'm just completely buried in work, and there's two ways that you can handle it, and both of them lose. The first is to suffer in silence, eat the load, work until, 6 a.m. sunrise, and miss something in hand or turn in work that's not your best. I mean, it's happening to me right now where I'm on five very pressing, very hard live deals where everything's constantly firing at once. Um, and I've been having to pull some all-nighters, and the work quality isn't my best, and I'm tired, I'm irritated, etc., etc. The second one is to complain, to go say, I'm overwhelmed, this is too much. And in a high performance environment, this one quietly ends careers because it tells everyone you can't handle the job. And it's not flagging that you don't have capacity, it's the way you go about flagging it. So there's the third way, and this is the way I tried to do, and maybe it's just me rationalizing myself. Done correctly, speaking up when you're slammed makes you look more capable and not less capable. It's one of the strongest signals of competence that you can send. And let me show you how to do it, include the wording that I use, and why it's important. So, the people piling on work for me really don't know how much work I'm actually doing. In banking, it's structural. I'm on different deals, I'm on different people, it's all on different processes and different timelines. None of them see the others ask. Each person hands you a small thing, assuming you have room. Nobody is looking at the total. There's no dashboards of your load except you. Now, yes, you have an Excel tracker. Yes, you have, Deal Cloud. Yes, you have Salesforce. MDs aren't checking that when they go and hand you a 4 hour long assignment and you still have to print books and it's, 10 p.m. So when you say I'm slammed, reframe what the actual is. It's not a complaint, it's information they don't have and need. You're the one person that can see your entire plate, which means suffering isn't whining, it's giving them the one piece of data required to make a good staffing decision. You are doing their job for them. Once you internalize that speaking up is provided missing information rather than asking for a favor, the whole act stops feeling like a weakness. Now let's bury the wrong way for good, because instinct, it's the one I wanted to reach for, and maybe I did. The complaint is like, I'm really overwhelmed right now. I have so much going on. This is a lot. It's vague, it's emotional, and here's the fatal flaw: it hands them your problem to solve. You've walked in with a feeling and no solution, and that's how seniors, and now the senior has to figure it out, or the staffer has to. You've made your capacity their burden. It's an In an up and out culture, it reads one way. This person can't cope. It doesn't matter how truly slammed you are. The framing made you the weak link. And the cruel part is the silent version is just as bad. You didn't burden them with feelings, you burdened them with missed deadlines or sloppy work, or they find out late. Both versions end with the senior person thinking, I can't reasonably rely on this person. That's the outcome you actually are trying to avoid, and both complaint and the silence walk you straight into it. So here's the move, and here's what I did. You don't refuse the work, sorry, and you don't dump the stress. You convert the situation into clear priorities, and you try to make a best path forward. So how I went and did it is a senior analyst on one of my deals. He's an associate, but he's titled senior analyst. He and I work very closely together, and we're on four or five things. Not four or five things, sorry, three things together. He's leaving, going to private equity in 2 weeks. And we thought we had, 2 to 3 months with him. Firm called him today and he's going, hey, I'm actually gone in, 2 weeks so I can enjoy some time off with family. This sucks for me because, we're 2 weeks, a week and a half away from MPs. We're, 4 weeks, 5 weeks away from LOIs. We are, going to market on a different deal, and a couple other things are in process. And he was the one primarily running the models on these deals, so I really haven't looked at them, which is, on me. I should be more aware of it because it is my deal. I need to know every number. I was just, being lazy. So because he's leaving, I reframed it as a, hey, X event happened. Because of X, I now likely have less capacity because he and I are on some very busy, very hectic deals right now. I went and I talked to my director about it. He and I also are on a very new, very hectic deal. And I told him, I was like, I don't really know what to do. I'm going to defer to you guys because this is really the first time I've been in here and I trust you guys. So, well, that's not deferring to him. Or sorry, I was like, I'll defer to you guys. I'm going to coordinate with the staffer as well, just so he's really aware of my workload and everything that's going on. And then, like, however helpful I can be, just let me know. I tried to over communicate, and he's very much a fan of that. So it might be different on that one. But what you need to do, what I need to do as well now and going forward, I need to do it on everything. It's just, weird. I need to really vocalize my capacity. So it's like quick heads up on bandwidth. I've got a deal A model due at 9 a.m. and the deal B deck you need tonight. You just asked me for deal C analysis. I can turn deal C around tonight, but if B moves to first thing to tomorrow, do you want me to prioritize B or keep on track on C? What do you want? Read that again, listen to that again. It's not a complaint, there's no emotion in it. It's an operator laying out the board and forcing a decision. It's like when in Risk and you have the Risk cards and someone else has two. You want to capture their cards, so you might as well just steamroll through a different person or force someone else to attack so you don't take over the game. Might not be the best analogy, but I just played a long game of Risk at a bachelor party, so here we are. This now makes people think you're on top of deliverables. Timing is the whole name of the game here. Now, flag it early. So I flagged it immediately when it happened. And they're very grateful for that. They're probably talking, trying to figure out what to do with little old me. A heads up at 6 p.m. when the night can still be rearranged is gold. The identical message at 1 a.m. is terrible. It's an excuse. And at that point, you didn't surface a risk. You hit onto one until it detonated. So the discipline is to flag it the moment you can see it, the collision coming, not when it hits. The earlier you raise it, the more it looks like you had the foresight and the more options everyone has. You want people in banking to have options. They hate feeling boxed into a corner because they know what happens when you only have one buyer. You aim it at the right person, usually whoever can reprioritize your work. So for me, that's my director. Or in my case as well, the staffer. Not my MD. I'm not flagging this to my MD. I'm like, I will handle this. We will figure it out. And then the MD is just going to be aware later. Now, I'm hoping this builds my reputation, and stepping back, to a senior, an analyst who's silently buried is a landmine. They can't see your load, so if they're trusting that something is about to go out, you tell them. The analyst who stays quiet and then misses something or ships sloppy work blindsides them, often in front of a client. I mean, I did that today as well. I messed up one small chart, and granted, it was only a diligence meeting, but it's still, I was looking at it and I was like, I could have checked that. I just didn't have the foresight, but now I do. You need to do risk management for people in your career. That's why when you can say it with competence, you've aligned your capacity with their interests, which is the deliverable never failing without warning. And here's the kicker, handling it this way, absorbing real work and communicating, is one of the clearest signals of seniority there is. It shows judgment, ownership, and communication all at once. The analysts who do this don't get less work, they get trusted with more, with better work, because they've proven they won't silently fall. Self-advocacy done right isn't a cost to your reputation, it's how you build one. For the genuinely unsustainable situation, however, not a busy week, but a relentless pattern that's wrecking your health or quality of everything you touch, this is a different conversation, and it does need to be raised more directly, but the principles hold. Bring them patterns and facts, not a single bad night or a feeling and to frame around. Frame it around your work, your quality, not your emotions, and take it to the person who can actually change things. So, speaking up when you're slammed was never about reducing your workload or buying yourself comfort. It's about making your capacity legible so that people staffing you and are on your deals can make a good decision, and so you don't fall silently and blindside one. This sounded like a ramble, but it's kind of just a live reaction of what just happened to me in my day. Master this, and I'm hoping I will, and I hope you guys will as well, will stop being the person who either drowns quietly or complains loudly, and you become the person who's visibly on top of everything and forces the right calls. That's not someone who can't handle the job, that's someone you give more of it to do. So, yet again, thank you all for tuning in. If you're listening, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with me any stories you guys have from your horror days back in banking.